One quiet afternoon, in a small English town, a woman named Amelia Slater rushed nervously around her living room. Her husband, Henry Slater, watched her with confusion. Amelia had just checked on her father, Abel Merriweather, who was lying upstairs in bed. He had not moved, he had not spoken, and Amelia believed that he had passed away. But instead of crying or feeling heartbroken, Amelia began thinking about something else, her father's belongings. She quickly turned to Henry and whispered anxiously. They had to act fast before her sister arrived. Amelia's sister, Elizabeth Jordan, would surely come as soon as she heard the news. And Amelia feared something very important, that Elizabeth might take all the valuable things that belonged to their father. So Amelia told Henry to go upstairs and bring down her father's brand new slippers. At first, Henry hesitated, felt wrong, taking things from a man who had just died. But Amelia insisted, and finally Henry went upstairs and brought the slippers down. Amelia quickly put them on, satisfied that at least those now belonged to her. But that was not enough. Suddenly, Amelia remembered a beautiful bureau, a large wooden cupboard that belonged to her father. It was one of the finest pieces of furniture in the house. She feared that if Elizabeth saw it upstairs, she would claim it immediately. So Amelia ordered Henry to help her move the bureau downstairs before Elizabeth arrived. Together, the couple struggled and dragged the heavy cupboard into the living room, pretending that it had always been there. Soon after that, the doorbell rang. Elizabeth Jordan and her husband, Ben Jordan, entered the house. Elizabeth was dressed in mourning clothes, acting very sad about her father's death. But her sadness quickly turned into suspicion when she noticed the bureau in the Slaters' living room. She asked Amelia when they had bought it. Amelia tried to explain, nervously, but Elizabeth was not convinced. Soon, the conversation turned into a heated argument. The two sisters began fighting. They argued about who had cared more for their father and who had spent more money on him. Instead of remembering their father with love, they talked mostly about his belongings and even the cost of his funeral. But then, something unexpected happened. Suddenly, footsteps were heard from the staircase, and to everyone's shock, Abel Merriweather himself walked slowly into the room. He was alive. Everyone stared at him in complete disbelief. While his daughters had been arguing about his death, he had simply been sleeping upstairs. Abel looked around the room carefully, and he noticed several strange things. His bureau had been moved downstairs. Amelia was wearing his slippers, and his daughters seemed more interested in his property than in his well-being. In that moment, Abel understood everything. Feeling hurt and deeply disappointed, he decided to teach his daughters a lesson. He announced that he would change his will and leave his belongings only to the daughter who truly cared for him. Then he surprised everyone even more. He revealed that he was planning to marry a widow named Mrs. Shorrocks and live with her instead. Suddenly, the daughters tried to act kind and caring, but it was too late. Abel had already seen their true nature, and with that, the old man prepared to leave, determined to spend the rest of his life with people who valued him for who he was, not for what he owned. And that is the story of the dear departed, a story that reminds us that greed can destroy even the closest family relationships, and that love, respect, and kindness toward our elders are far more valuable than money or possessions.